Hey guys, King here. So I get asked a lot of times how I light up my scene for YouTube, and in this video I'm going to do my very best to break down my lighting system. So currently we have this one light on, which is this light, and this is my key light. Now your key light is the light that you want to have at its brightest and closest to you. The key light should always be at 45 degrees beside you, not in front of you, beside you, 45 degrees. If you have it in front of you, what happens is you get a flat look, which is what you don't want to do. You want to have some sort of dynamic look from this side and gives your face depth. You want to also try and create depth in your video. Now the next kind of light you want to have after you get your key light is your fill light. Now what your fill light does is it fills up the shadow that this key light creates. I don't use a fill light for some reasons I can explain. I kind of like the depth that I get, so I don't use a fill light. But you want to have a fill light, yeah? And the fill light is usually very, very low. You don't want to put it at the max, you want to put it very low. It's usually lower than the key light. And then you also want to have a backlight. And what the backlight does is it separates you from the background. So you want to have that. Now, I usually use this key light. I use the light behind me. Now that's my floor lamp. That's practical light. The practical light is a light that you have in your scene already. It's always static. It's not something you put there for your shot. It's just there. So if you have like a bed lamp as a practical light, if you have your normal house light, practical light, but I would advise using your overhead light because that is not going to make the video look good. I'm going to make the video look too bright because you cannot control the intensity of the light anyways, so you don't want to use that. But yeah, let's turn on this other light that I have. I have a tube light also that is my backlight. Let's turn that on and let's see what that does to my entire scene. So I'm just going to turn on my tube light. For most of you who have watched my video before, you know what this light does. And if you haven't watched the video, I'm going to drop a link, so you can go check out, that video. Now that we have that light turned on, this scene is looking more interesting, yes, as opposed to just having one light. It's looking more interesting now. So let's go ahead and turn on the other light that we have. Already you can see how separated I am from the background, and you can see the nice touch of color that we have. As it is, it's already good to go, but I don't want to have that light just looking dead in the backdrop. So I want to turn that on. I'm going to go to my Ramo app and I'm going to turn the up one first. So I have that turned on, and this thing again looks a bit more interesting. And I'm going to turn on the other one at the bottom. And yeah, we have a much brighter scene right now. So yeah, this is pretty much how I light up my scene. I try to use all of this light. There's a red light at this side, and that light is coming from my monitor light bar. And the reason you can see is because it's bouncing off the wall, and that's because my room is entirely white. So whatever light I put in here, it bounces around. Even if just one small light, it bounces around. So how do you light up your scene? Now, before we answer this, I'm going to rush through different kind of lights that we have. So we have the ring light, which is very, very common. Almost everybody has the ring light in their house. We have the LED panel light. That is another light that uses battery that you can open everywhere, and then that's something that you can use to kind of focus the light. Now we have the curb light. The curb light is a light that professional photographers and photographers use in the studio. We have this kind of light, which is a softbox with a lamp holder. It's a very, very budget, very friendly light. And then we have the tube light, which is what you just saw me put behind my canvas there. Now all of these lights do not come with diffuser inside of them. Aside from the curb light, which you have to buy a softbox separately, because what that does for you is it helps diffuse the light and it helps make the light softer. Without the softbox, the light will be very, very, very harsh. Now, this other light I'm using came with a softbox, so it's why the light is as light as it is and not as harsh. But I had to get a grid, and what I helped is it helps with the speed. Without this grid, this light will be a bit more spilled around, So all of the stuff that I've mentioned is not come with diffuser, aside from the curb light, you should have to get the softbox by yourself and this one. Now, and chances are most people won't have a light in their house. What most people have in their house is ring lights. And the LED panel light is very, very common. So how do you diffuse that light? Very simple. Two things. First of all, you don't want to put light at max color, max strength. You want to put it at say mid-range or even quarter strength, and you want to get as close as you can to the light. And the rule of thumb is you want to keep the light at arm's length. So my light is here and I can touch my light because it's not so far from me. It's better to do it this way than to have the light increased and you're also so close to the light, you get harsh shadows. Or you have the light increase and you're a bit far from the light, what happens is you still get harsh shadows and you still get light casting or spilling into your background, and you do not want that. So what you want to do is you want to get this light, whatever light you're using, not so high, get so close to it, and you can get a reflector. Now, a reflector is one way to bounce light off or on your face. You can see how, because this is close to me, this side of my face is a lot brighter. If I take this off, it goes back to being dark. Yeah. So if you have just one light and you don't want it to look dark on this side, you don't like that look, get one of this and just find a way to place it where it doesn't show in your scene, and you still get this side bright, you know. That is also reflector light. Now, how do you soften the light that comes from your ring light or your LED panels? And when you buy one of these, there's usually a diffuser inside of it that you can use to diffuse the light that is being produced by these LED panels or by these ring lights. This diffuses your light for you. So I'm going to do a test right now. I have a light that I put up here just to run the stairs. It's an aroma light. It's very, very sharp, very, very bright as well. So I'm going to use that as a test. So I'm going to turn on this light. This is the brightest, yeah. And already you can see how bright it is. You can see compared to this light, this has a softer feel. This has a harsher feel. You can see how sharp it creates a line in my face. Now, if I take this up, I still get this light, but it's softer now. The harsh thing goes off. So this is how you can soften your LED panels, your ring light. Ring light is soft, it's not so soft. Especially LED panels, because they're very popular in part of the world, and people buy them a lot of diffuser. You want to get this to soften your light so it looks cool. You can buy a diffuser that comes with them, that is designed for them, but after time, they are not so affordable and are not readily available in this part of the world. I mean, you can also get a grid with them as well, but again, they're not really available in part of the world and not so affordable. This I find the cheaper way to get your light diffused without breaking the bank. I got this for around 18,000 naira for all of the reflectors and the diffuser. I'm going to distribute video now to use this and how this works. But this is one way to light up your scene. If you have just one light and you're trying to diffuse that light so it's not too harsh, you want to use this. If you also have that one light and it's soft enough or you want it to bounce off on the other side of your face, you can also use the silver part of this, or you can use the white part of this. This also has a white part that you can use to bounce off the light, and it's a bit lighter on that side. But if you have two lights, what do? My advice would be, if you have just two lights, what you should do is get one as a key light and use one as your backlight. The reason is because, again, you want to separate yourself from the background. But if for some reason you do not have enough space where you're shooting, what I advise you to do then is use your other light as a fill light, so you can just fill up the shadows that is on this side of your face. But try as much as you can, see how much you can get depth in your shots. For those who are been on my channel from day one, you would know this is not my usual way. This was not how I started YouTube. I was usually sitting down there and having my laptop as that side, but I noticed it's not so far from the wall. And if I use this light, it's going to bounce off on the wall. So I tried to change my position. So I have at least 6 feet or 7 feet away from that side, which is a lot bigger than sitting right there. So try as much as you can to get depth, try as much as you can to stay away from the wall, but if you cannot stay away from the wall, you want to put the light high above you and tilt it down. Do not put it 95 degrees and right in front of you like this. Remember, it should be coming from the top, not from the side like this. This way, you don't get shadows casted on the wall and it just comes like this. So yeah, remember, put your light at max colors, max brightness. I mean to say, try and get as close as you can to get the best light quality. Try and diffuse your light. And if you really have two lights, use one as a key light and one as a fill light or as your backlight. There are other kind of lights. There's catch light, which is one that gives you a bit of light. That is something I will talk about in another video. Yeah, I'm trying to keep this video short. So I hope this has been helpful to someone out there. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comment section. Let's talk about that. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. And please like, share, and subscribe, and bye.